got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want.
You guys are looking at me like, don't make us do it. Don't make us do it. We're back. Real reviews. We're here to talk about Joker 2. I got Mayte. How you doing?
Hey.
I got the dad Panther in the house. What's going on, sir?
This movie has given me split personalities. So,
all right. Yeah. So the Joker 2 has dropped. All right. It's been highly anticipated by a lot of people. All right. And if you watched our numbers review, it made 40 plus, basically 40 million, 37 plus million on opening weekend. $40 million open weekend. You know, some would say that was a success in this era where we're getting about 40 to 60 million for number one movies. But I am hearing different. But before we get into that, I need to know what everybody's initial impression was of this movie. All right. So let's go with you, Mayte. What was your initial impression when you saw the trailer? You found out what, Joker 2 was coming.
I think my expectations were too high. We can start there.
Which is funny because that's not a first impression. That's what the impression is. That's the balance.
My only impression.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the realization.
Oh man!
Right? I mean, so my initial impression, I was like, okay, Joker. I like the first one, so I was like, let's see where this goes. And that's a rabbit hole.
Okay. And so you were looking forward to the second one because of the first one.
Yeah.
Right. All right. I understand that. Dad Panther, what was your initial impression?
Even though I knew it was a musical, Willy Wonka, La La Land, Hairspray, there's so many where I don't have a problem with the musical. I enjoyed the first one. It was darker. Lady Gaga can sing and she's beautiful. And Phoenix can act as behind off. So I was ready for it. I want to say the bar was higher up. Yes, I will admit that, yeah.
All right, so my initial impression was, at first I was like, okay, Joker 2, let's get it. But then when I found out that it was going to have like a musical type element, I was immediately not interested. And I was like, I'm not watching this movie. So just so you fans know, I did not watch this movie. But I am here to pull the review from these two great critics, these two people that are willing to suffer through anything for you guys to get that review, for you guys to find out if it's worth your money. All right. So Joker 2's
real reviews.
Real reviews.
Joker, we make sure you ain't booty. Gotcha.
Yeah. You don't waste your money.
Don't waste your money. All right. So we of course have been calling this Joker 2. It is actually called Joker Folie, Deux, which is French. I don't know exactly.
Double ply.
Can't catch a break. Damn.
No, it's single
can't
ply.
Catch a break.
Single ply and recycle.
Oh my goodness. This is bad. I think I got some on my fingers. Anyway, so the synopsis according to IMDb, struggling with his dual identity, failed comedian Arthur Fleck meets the love of his life, Harley Quinn, while incarcerated at Arkham State Hospital. That's pretty much it's pretty much where this story is supposed to go. Let's just go ahead and talk about it. Mayte, can we start with you? Highs and lows. How'd you feel about it?
I mean, okay, so I feel like when there's more lows with highs, I have to start with the highs and work my way down. I guess the logic is there.
Give it to us.
Okay, so my highs. I mean, the singing was good. Lady Gaga sings great. Amazing. Joaquin Phoenix. I liked his voice. Even like it's not a typical singing voice, but I liked in certain songs it shined. In some other ones, I was like, let's skip past this. Musicals. I'm never like I'm always neutral with musicals. Unless it's High School Musical. But, I mean, knowing it was a musical didn't. I mean, I knew what to expect. I didn't think it was gonna take too much of the storyline. But seeing, doing a little bit more research afterwards, it makes sense as to why I went that direction. I wish it went a whole different direction. But yeah, so my lows, too much music. I mean, it's a musical, yes, but I feel like it could have been done in a better way. As far as the storyline could have progressed more, I feel like the storyline went backwards instead of going forward with the storyline. In my opinion,
Wow.
I feel like I'm more confused now. So I feel like I don't know. It just left me like, even at the end, I was like, what's going on? What's
Jesus.
happening?
My
So
goodness.
I don't know. That's me,
So
my
you,
opinion.
all right. No, and so those are all of your lows.
Yeah, I think so.
I got you. It's like I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it. Okay. All right. Dad Panther, come on with it. Highs and lows, sir.
Okay, so first off, this movie, the title is a play on words, right? It also not just means hey Joker 2, play with words like Beetlejuice, but it also means a person that has two personalities. It's a disorder. It's an actual legal term for it. So that should have let us know from the beginning that this was going to play a movie that was two separate movies other than the personality. And if you go back to the first movie was the gentleman who we think is Joker, and I'm not going to spoil anything, but the gentleman who we think is the Joker tells poor jokes. And I feel like there was a bad joke and we were the victim of the joke. And I don't know if this was intentional or not. The director, Todd Phillips, I don't know if he did this intentionally because WB was like, hey, we gave you money. We're going to do this and I'm going to do whatever I want. And you can't really stop me. And this is what we're going to do. But
It happens.
the unfortunate, because he's done Hangover and he's done War Dogs and there's other movies that this director has done that has A Star is Born with Lady Gaga. So he's done music genre-ish movies, but for him to go the route of a musical, it just doesn't make any sense to me. So for this movie, the negatives I will say for this movie was it felt too long and the pacing was off. Now, it felt too long and the pacing was off is because this movie didn't really know what it wanted to be. It was a musical and it was a movie at the same time dramatic, though the setting was great. The production was great. The casting was great. I thought the choice of songs were great. I felt like Phoenix's voice isn't that strong singing wise. He's not Hugh Jackman. Like if you've ever seen him on Broadway, The Greatest Showman and other stuff that he's done, he doesn't carry that way, but I felt like they picked the right songs and executed in the proper way. But there was times in the theater where there were people who completely forgot it was a fucking musical because they went so long without a song or anything. And it started and they were like, oh, this is a fucking musical. And so you had to keep changing your gears in between that was happening. They created a world. Well, again, I'm not going to spoil anything, but they created a world. And in this world, they forgot the rules. One of the rules or the things was a court is supposed to do X, Y, Z if you're a lawyer. And they completely forgot that multiple times just to allow the storyline. And for a movie this big with this cast, there shouldn't have been that many breadcrumbs to have you pick up on this. It was rated R. You should have had more freedom to do stuff, but I still felt like at times they were holding stuff back. Again, going with the fact that I felt like they shot themselves in the foot, there are movies like La La Land that did a great job blending both. There are horror musicals like Todd Sweeney, Beetlejuice that is actually on Broadway. There are more dramatic stuff like Chicago that's more adult, or even Moulin Rouge, which gave you a full storyline and gave you popular songs inside of it that wasn't traditional. This didn't have to be Hamilton where you needed to do musical from begin to end. It wasn't that kind of setup. But because they couldn't find the right thing, I felt like it's really what messed this movie up, because had it been full on musical, I think we talk about it differently. Had it been full drama, I think people would really, really appreciate it. But again, going back to what the director was doing and what it felt like is I'm gonna spoil something. but you don't really see it unless you're looking for it. Towards the end of the movie, there's a person in the back that is going to do something to their face. Okay? This was supposed to be done in the first movie, but they weren't allowed because the comic book owners said, we don't want you to fuck with this. And the main director, our producer, was a part of this. They weren't a part of the second one. So they said, okay, we're going to do it anyway. So it was just that kind of attitude where the first crew preserved the character and the story. And this one, whatever. But to me, that's, if you found any highs and low in there, bless your soul. Bless.
I do have one high. I remember.
Come on back with it. Come on, what you got?
I really did like the costuming and makeup. I will say that. I really did like, like the Joker makeup, the Joker costume. I really did enjoy that. So that's one high I have.
All right. You're so generous. All right. So I have a question for you both. And this is I know there's no evidence to say. This is just wondering if this is a possibility, because the Dad Panther you just mentioned that based on what the director has done in the past, it doesn't make sense. So you feel like there was some fiddling from higher ups, producers or whatever, coming in and kind of messing with what he had going. But I would like to ask, and correct me if I'm quoting you wrong, then, set me straight. But basically that's what I was hearing. So what I want to know is, do you think it's possible that because of his success, he came up with an idea and they were just like, run with it because he's had so much success in the past, they let him do whatever he want, and this is what we got?
Yeah, just like that one director that went ahead and spent all his money on a movie that didn't pan out.
Francis Ford Coppola. I have to say it.
Because I'm looking at his most recent movie. Other than The Hangover, he hasn't done another sequel and then some. And Phoenix really doesn't do sequels. So it had the recipe, I felt like, to do something, but I don't know if we'll ever know.
What do you think, Mayte? Do you think this was the studio interfering, or did they just letting the director just roam free with a crazy vision he had? What do you think?
I honestly don't know. That's what I feel like. I feel like it could be a little bit of both. Like, I feel like it was just maybe clashing of ways, and at that point they just kind of agreed to let it be, just kind of, all right, just go for it, maybe.
I mean, sometimes I feel like that happens a lot in Hollywood. When someone has big success, they give them too much freedom too quickly. And I'm going to throw this out there, and I don't care if you guys want to come at me in the comments, but the movie Nope was a great example of, sure, whatever you say, after having success with previous projects. I feel like they were just like, whatever you want. I also feel like Will Ferrell got to the point where they didn't even know what it was about. They were just like, sure,
do it.
Let's get him whatever he needs.
Elf, let him do it. Let him cook. Like the kids say, let him cook.
So that's kind of where my head was at with this. I feel like that because let me tell you, the first one, I don't know if you know that
came out of nowhere. Yeah, that had a nice recipe. They said, hey, look, it's not the character. We're reinventing. Like, this is a different. Don't think Batman. This is just. Right. Just watch it. And people would talk and say, you got to see Joker. I don't do that comic book shit. It's not comic book. Okay. It's rated R. It has, take the word Joker out of it. It's just a guy going through a bad time. Just try it. And so those same people got all those people in the theater, and it's going to keep trickling in. And then you're going to sit there and you'll be like, they told a bad joke and I'm sitting here and I've got egg on my face.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard to separate the character, though, from, like, the comics, in my opinion.
It is, but I felt like the first movie, they did such a good job of you not really paying attention to the character. Like, you didn't need him in the face paint.
to his troubles.
Yeah, because when he would do the nervous laugh, when he's dancing down the street, when he has those moments where, and again, we're talking about the first movie, where he, unalives those people on the subway, you're not thinking Joker with a flower with squirting acid. You're thinking this person's me. This person's the same person. He's not the biggest guy. He's not the smartest. He's just had enough. And so to look at this, like I said before, no shade towards when you watch how this is shot, you think Man of Steel, you think Dark Knight, you think the first one. It's beautiful. It's dark. It's edgy. And they do some creative stuff with it. But just like the sex scene, fuck it, shot my load early. That didn't even, it just, there's not, like, I mean, like
that scene was so out of my head.
Yes, and out of pocket, out of place. It made no sense whatsoever. And you're sitting there, and Lady Gaga's gorgeous. And I have no problem with saying like, "Hey, look at Michael B. Jordan, ladies. Go ahead and get a look at this." But nobody in the theater was sitting there saying, "I want 50 Shades of Paint all over me." Nobody was. So I don't know. But like I said, this director has no history with musicals. And the fact that you can look at American Dad, Family Guy, Bob's Burger, and they pull out full musical episodes. Matter of fact, Bob's Burger did a musical movie, and it was successful, and it had a flow because they probably had people involved that were able to give you a story and stay true to it. And it's just.
Wow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and make it official.
And it's time for a real review from you and from us. Is this a classic, a good watch, a catch on streaming, not doing it for me, or is it a oh hell no? Or if you ever show me this ever again, I will. You. All right, if you're watching, drop your comments below.
Mayte, where are you going to put it?
It's a non-doing it for me.
Not doing it for me. That's better than what I thought we was gonna get.
For real?
Not doing it for me. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you.
I'm being generous.
Okay. All right. I got you. Dan Panther, where you at with it?
I'm gonna.
Okay.
Because I can't remember a step underneath it. At the end of the day, it's like Money Heist in certain movies or shows where they have sequels and other seasons, but sometimes it's just watch this one. If you just watch the first Joker, enjoy it for what it is. You don't necessarily need this, and you won't feel no type of way. It's just.
So the rating underneath is oh hell no. And then after that is if you ever show me this again, I'll slap you.
I'm going to stay where I'm at now because someone like me, I appreciate musicals. So I had no problem with it. I was moving my head. I was dancing. I saw what they were doing with the setups and the sets. And I'm like, I get it. It's like Broadway. I could see them. But then I'm like, I feel like a lot of other people are not going to Willy Wonka. They're not going to fuck with this.
Yeah. There's only one musical.
Enjoyable. It wasn't horrible. But
What? The Wiz? What musical?
No, I didn't watch that. I know. Come for me in the comments. Grease is the only musical I watch.
Oh.
not the what's wrong with Grease?
Listen, I'll watch
classic.
it, but it is a classic. And sometimes we hold classics up so high. I'm like, hey, it's Grease. I'll sing along. But there's some other stuff I'll watch. But it ain't this.
You watch Joker too.
Yeah, that's what I said. If I knew what I know now. And I'll leave on this. Like this movie, without spoiling anything, I think it's the good part where I think the director is directing is you make the assumption, you make the mistake yourself. So when the credits roll, if you think about who the character they showed you from the first movie to this one, you did this to yourself. And I don't even mean that in a sarcastic, mean way. I just mean if you got pissed at the end of the credits, it's because the joke was on you. Literally. And they said it so many times in so many different ways, and we didn't listen. So if a lot of y'all like, oh, this is what I wanted, oh, it's supposed to be. Nope, you weren't listening. You weren't paying attention to what they were showing you.
Maybe you gotta. I don't know. I feel like maybe I gotta watch it again to like really try to slow it down. I feel like it's one of those
somebody
movies.
else buy you a ticket.
I'll wait till it's on screaming.
Okay.
No, but you gotta watch it again. I feel like there's like even the little things. It's the little things that actually matter in this movie, and I feel like you're so focused on. You get lost in his delusion too. You're brought into it. So we're Delulu too.
Yeah, that's how we end up sitting there at the theater.
All right, well, you heard it here first, people. We got not doing it for me across the board. I don't have a right to have an opinion, but I'm gonna go ahead and jump on that bandwagon. It wasn't doing it for me.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, well, if you guys got nothing else, yeah, all right.
Much like
Well,
him in that love scene.
I'm tired. I'm sorry.
The trauma.
There's a lot of dudes. There's a lot of dudes saying, "I'm doing better than him." I'll tell you that much. I'm putting it down.
I mean, yeah, okay. I'm leaving that alone. That's a whole nother show, a whole nother discussion. I'm leaving it alone. All right. So I want to thank y'all for watching this movie, putting yourselves through it for the good of the fans. Hope you guys.
I can't help it. I just thought of a position.
Oh, here we go.
The Harley Quinn. From the back, you grab the mascara. There we go. Y'all run with that.
Okay. Normally, when stuff like that is said, you get the damn Panther being like, "Stop."
But I just thought about it. I was like, "Hey," and then you see your girlfriend is like, "He gave you the Harley Quinn, didn't he?" You're like,
All right, let us know in the comments if you guys have already tried this or if you're going to try it. And let us know if you guys want a spin-off show on more subjects like that. Oh, man. All right, so this is Real Reviews. We just did Joker Folie Deux, Joker 2. Okay, I'm Legacy Lingo. We got Mayte and the Dad Panther. We will see you guys on the next one. Real Reviews, live and unabridged.